80% of its value. We need to talk about Meta's decent quarter. And of course, we need to talk about all of the earnings that have come out in the last couple of days. So folks, I am in Las Vegas. I don't know if you can see that behind me. I will do probably a room walkthrough later in the day. We did get one of the big rooms, so people like to see that. So we'll do that maybe later today or tomorrow. But let's just get into it. I do have my notes from all of my reading. I still do it on vacation. So let's get right into it. Let's start with Meta. Meta, or Facebook, had a decent quarter. They beat top line, beat bottom line, and raised guidance. I believe this was the first quarter in the last 8 where they saw revenue growing. So shout out to the team at Facebook. You beat top line, you beat bottom line, and you raise guidance. Kind of the triple beat, if you will. If you happen to be a Meta or a stockholder, I think you're up 9, 10, 11% this morning. So shout out to you. Pretty interesting stuff. On additional earnings, we got some numbers from Roku, beat top line, but missed bottom line and raised guidance. Kind of a interesting combination there. eBay beat top line, bottom line. ServiceNow, top, bottom. We're seeing a lot of companies beat top line, beat bottom line. But remember, many of these organizations took great care to lower expectations. So it's kind of like getting over a lower bar. So it's very interesting to read. Gap did talk about another set of layoffs, folks, another 1,800 folks at Gap. Again, these are all things that we've talked about that they all seem to be rolling in. Amazon does report after hours. Amazon layoff today or yesterday. I read about laying off from HR and also their cloud units. And quote unquote, they are ending experimental projects. Folks, I warned you. And some of the engineers on this channel have replied, Michael, you don't get it. I am working on the future of the company. No, you don't get it. There is some accountant in some far off land looking at some spreadsheet, and your business unit may be the future. But that accountant simply doesn't know and doesn't care. Their job is to lower operational cost. And if you produce no revenue, you get what you get. So again, it was pretty interesting to see that. Teladoc Health beat top line, bottom line, raised guidance. Harley-Davidson beat top line, bottom line. So very interesting things to look at. I don't know if you saw it this morning, but Q1 GDP was expected to be about 2%. Excuse me. It came in at 1.1%. Q1 GDP came in lower than expected, mainly about inventory. Consumer spending still up. If you look at consumer spending through Q1 through the last 3 quarters of the last year, it actually had a decent number. Q1 earnings were up Q1 spending by the consumer was up 4%, but yet Q1 GDP was up 1.1%. PCE, or personal consumption expenditures, think inflation. Inflation came in hot, 4.2, where the estimate was 3.7. So what does this mean? Well, it really means stagflation. Stagflation is a real possibility. And frankly, I would argue that Q1 was a sign that stagflation is here. What is stagflation? It is below trend growth and inflation. It is an environment that is not a lot of fun, right? You're not really growing. You're spending more money on stuff. It's really not a very good environment. And Q1 certainly felt like an environment with stagflation. It is Thursday, so that means we get the weekly unemployment claims. We did see a couple of weeks where it was ticking higher. Well, that reversed today. Expectations were 248,000. Last week was 246,000. This week came in at 230,000. Again, folks, we are looking at this weekly number as a sign of a trend. Are we going one direction or not? This week broke that. We clearly rolled over. Folks are really interested in real estate values crashing. Well, I have perhaps a painful example of what is coming. Folks, if you're in San Francisco, there is a 22-story office building at 350 California Street. This building was purchased and valued in 2019 at $300 million. Folks, unfortunately, 350 California Street is basically now an empty 22-story office building. It is going to auction. It is feared that the top bid will be an 80% discount. Folks, San Francisco is dying. I mean, just think about that. That's a $300 million office building 4 short years later going for $60 million. San Francisco is going to be the poster child for real estate being wrecked. And again, folks, when I say real estate, I mean all of it. When I talk housing, I talk single family, just so there's no confusion. Yes, 350 California Street was worth $300 million, now worth estimated $60 million. There's going to be a lot of work clearly converting office. Will it go storage? Will it go multifamily? Will it go, what will happen? But yes, it is very, very clear that San Francisco is in for some pain. Larry Summers. Larry Summers is someone I respect. He is not afraid of rattling cages of the powers that be, which obviously I respect. He's basically out saying inflation is not going to come down in a meaningful way without a substantial economic downturn. Yes, folks, Larry Summers is basically saying we need a recession to break the back of inflation. Well, as we shared earlier, Q1, 1.1% growth, 4-point-something% inflation. We are currently in stagflation. We're going to start to get economic numbers probably in 2 weeks, a post-banking crisis. So it will be very interesting to see if Q2 is the first negative quarter, obviously followed by Q3. Other articles I read, Samsung reported a 95% drop in profit, a profit plunge of 95%. Very tough business now, memory. They expect limited demand recovery. Not good. First Republic, I don't know, down another 30% yesterday after a 50% decline the day before. Again, remember, their executives released earnings after the bell Monday and did not take questions. That is going to prove to be a colossal mistake. If you were one of the last 100 billion or 70 billion or whatever it was, why would you stay at a bank that's not talking about what's coming next? Not good. There is a lot of talk. Will First Republic hold the feet to the fire of the big banks? Will FDIC have to come in? Or is the hole on their balance sheet simply so big that the FDIC or the government can't take it over? That's where I think we are at this point. I think we are to the point where they're like, hey, we know First Republic is bad. We're just going to let them limp along, and they will get better in time. It is a really, really interesting place to be. First off, also I want to shout out everybody who participated in yesterday's video. Yesterday's video, I asked you where you're traveling this summer. Man, and you guys really came through. Some of you have some amazing trips planned. I am really jealous. I am happy for you, so enjoy that. That is some good stuff. What else do I have for today? Yeah, I think that's what I got for you today. So again, folks, don't forget, we are in Vegas. We are going to Jonathan Twomley's event. I am skilling up. We are spending thousands of dollars to get better. I will obviously share with you anything that I think is interesting and I learned. But again, have fun. Take care. Don't forget to look at your buy box. And again, if you want to see me speak live, we do have that event in Fresno. I think it is on Saturday, May 13th. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Take care. Bye.